Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look, Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do they thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
Hey everyone, this is Andrew from Wrestling IQ 101. When I'm not hosting our podcast, I'm usually at collarandelbowbrand.com. That's right, Collar and Elbow is the only place that combines wrestling with street attire. And I know what you're thinking, I want to look fashionable too, and I also want to save 10%. So head over to collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code WIQ101 and look fashionable and save some money. And now, on with the show. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew, and you can listen to Wrestling IQ 101 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And today, I'm standing here with Colin West, man, from Synergy. How's it going?
Andrew, it is always good to talk to you, man. Things are going great. We got a show coming up in a couple of days, so I'm very much looking forward to it. It's good to talk to you.
Yeah, Synergy number 9. You know, I can't wait. Can you tell people where that is and how they can get tickets?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's still a couple days left for you guys to get tickets to the show. You can do so at www.synergywrestling.com, synergywrestling.com, and there's a couple of links there for you. If you want, you can just Google Synergy Pro Wrestling and the number 9, and the TicketBud site should also come up.
Awesome, definitely. And that show is this Saturday, and you won't want to miss it because, we'll get to it a little bit later, but you've been kind of like Robert Mueller in investigating who attacked Matt Tremont, but let's go talk about some of these matches first, if you will.
Absolutely. I mean, I hope that, unlike Mueller, I hope we come up with something one way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're guilty or innocent, but tell me something, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start off first with this match. Some women's wrestling action. Nyla Rose and Gabby Ortiz. What a classic match that's going to be right there.
I'm thrilled about this. Nyla and Gabby have been two women that I've wanted to get on shows for a very long time. Going back actually to when I was doing the charity shows with CTW, I was very interested in both of these women. And to catch them both on such upswings of their careers, Gabby Ortiz getting to the finals of this year's ECWA Women's Super 8 and, briefly holding their women's championship, and to have Nyla Rose debuting with the first ever All Elite Wrestling Supercard on May 25th, catching them both. Mm-hmm. It's a matchup of All Elite versus Women of Honor, but it's a matchup of two really of the women who have helped hold down East Coast women's wrestling. And we made everybody a promise that we were going to feature women's wrestling prominently this year at Synergy.
Yeah. And
that we weren't just going to book anybody, that we were going to put the best women at the forefront. And I think we proved that with Jazz and Maria Manic. We've proved it in the past with Terry Calloway and Willow Nightingale. And now we're going to keep proving it with Nyla Rose and Gabby Ortiz. And I'm very excited to see what these two women bring to the table. Yeah,
it's awesome to see how exciting that the women's division at Synergy is ramping up. I mean, you just hit the nail on the head right there for sure. We alluded to some of these suspects earlier. You did not make this road easy for them that night because some of those participants that are under suspect are going to be in some matches. MV Young is going up against Mike Dell.
Yeah, and I mean, Mike Dell's still under investigation. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
As of this moment, I don't have him pegged as a heavy suspect.
Okay.
Simply because I can't come up with a reason why why he would want to do this. You know, it just nothing about Mike Dell attacking Matt Tremont to me makes any sense.
Sure.
You know, he had just gone 15 to 18 minutes in a 2 out of 3 falls match. He had wrestled the match cleanly. He did it without cheating. He did it without breaking or bending any rules. It just doesn't seem... I'll put it this way. If Mike Dell is the one who attacked Matt Tremont, then he might be just a sociopath, because I can't see it. But be that as it may, I want to see what MV Young brings to the table here, too. Because he's been here a couple of times, and I've liked what I've seen so far. So if MV Young can beat a very good member of our roster, Mike Dell, then MV Young will become part of our roster full-time.
Yeah. You know, another guy under suspect, you know, over time, TJ Crawford. He'll be going up against relentless Aaron Bradley. And, of course, Jake Chambers, you know, who had a phenomenal year last year.
Yeah, Drake Chambers within a breath of, you know, maybe becoming Synergy champion at the last show. But this is a crossroads for all three guys. This is really just a situation where you look at them, and I'm giving them all an opportunity. You know, I'm saying, all right, you three, Crawford, Bradley, Chambers, you all have something to prove now. So the winner of this match is going to be able to call his shot at Synergy 10, our Big 10th show. They can challenge anybody they want. They can challenge the champion. They can challenge anybody up and down the roster. So I want to see two things. I want to see, one, who wins, and number two, what they want, where they want to go. I can only imagine that Chambers will want another shot at the championship or at Frightmare, depending on if Frightmare is the champion or not. I don't know what Bradley would want, and I think Crawford's just looking for a shot at proving himself. So maybe looking for some revenge on Matt McIntosh, who gave him his first singles loss here in Synergy. So it really could go any one of a number of ways, but I firmly expect this triple threat to be a potential candidate to steal the show this Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Another match that could steal the show, LSG and KTB. I mean, you talk about two polar opposites. I mean, they're going to collide for sure.
Whew. I mean, these are two guys that I look at and just say, you know, New Jersey is in really good hands. Like, this area is in really good shape in terms of the talent that it's pushing out. And, you know, LSG starting, you know, from humble beginnings and going up and cutting his teeth in the early days of Beyond Wrestling, and then going down to the Monster Factory and becoming part of the Ring of Honor roster, really just doing himself and this area very proud. And he and his lady, Gabby Ortiz, just kind of really making the name for themselves as a real power couple in pro wrestling. And KTB, I mean, what do you say? I mean, wrestling's best kept secret. 1,000,000%. Steals every show that he's on, turns heads every show that he's on. There's a reason that some of the best promotions on the planet have him as their gatekeeper or have him as a feature player on their roster, because KTB is no joke. He is a naturally gifted freak of nature. And for as close as these two live to one another in terms of proximity, for the fact that they've traveled in the same circles forever, you know, there are so many overlaps with LSG and KTB in their careers, you know, be it Arcadia or Eric Corvus or, you know, it's just so many people that they have in common and so many places that they have in common. The fact that they haven't wrestled all that much is kind of surprising, and I'm very happy to put this match on.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, I ran into LSG at another show, and he just said this match is going to be fun, and if it's coming out of his mouth, I have to believe it. Yeah, it's going to be fun for the audience. You don't want to miss that for sure.
Yeah, this is, you know, honestly, these are two guys who, look, let's make no mistake, they like each other. Like, if we're being real, they like each other. they're fine with one another, but neither one of them is in a position in their career where they want to lose. They're both trending upward, and taking a loss right now, I mean, this is a friendly rivalry. It's a friendly competition, but it's still a competition. You know, and taking an L for guys of this caliber going into Mania week is not something that they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when that counts, or the momentum counts. I mean, anybody on that show too going into WrestleMania week. This is I mean, this, you talk about the cutting the ribbon. Synergy is doing just that. You know, they're starting off WrestleMania week. You know, on a right note. You know, I mean, it's just going to get better from there. I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, let me just say this now on the middle of this. You owe it to yourself, if you're in this area, go to find a show WrestleMania week. I would like it to be Synergy. Do it. But no matter what, if you're in Jersey City or you're in Rahway or you're in Hoboken or you're out in Brooklyn or Queens or Manhattan, go support a show Mania week. It is unlike anything else. Just the atmosphere, the vibe, wrestlers from all over the country and all over the world in one place at one time. Really go support a show. Find a card online that looks cool and go to that show. I promise you, you will have just an incredible time.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend sums up every week in Jersey. I mean, it feels like every week in New York, these are the best superstars, and they come through this town and this state of New Jersey all the time. And don't just check them out this weekend, but every weekend if you can. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, we are a crowded territory. Of course we are. There's a lot of promotions, and there's a lot of places to go see wrestling in the tri-state area. And some people think that's a bad thing, but here's what I say about that. It proves real quick who the good wrestlers are and who the good promotions are.
Sure.
It proves who the people are that are trying to do things the right way, that are trying to serve up the best possible shows for their fan base, and it proves who's just trying to skate through.
Yeah.
And you know who's who. And it's why certain promotions, you look at are just killing it right now, who are just bringing the best out of everybody on their rosters. And we're trying to prove that we're one of those. We're trying to prove we're one of those companies, you know, and we're trying to prove that we're on the way up. And people can trust us with their dollar, you know, to come check out a show and know that they're going to see quality talent. And so this is just another opportunity for us to do that.
Sure. And I mean, Colin, you hit the nail on the head again, because, you know, you've been promoting that since day one of Synergy, giving the fans what they want, listening to the fans. I mean, you said it was that easy to listen to the fans, and that's exactly what you've been doing. And this match here, I think you did just that, because Frightmare will be going up against Joe Gacy, man. I mean, talk about two unique characters. Oh, man.
Well, when Steve Scott announced his retirement, that was kind of a shock to the system for us at Synergy, because he had become the number one contender, you know, and Frightmare and Steve Scott was where we were going to go. That's just the fact of it. If you earn something here, we're going to give it to you. That being said, we also are of the mindset that if we can't deliver on what we initially promised, for whatever reason, it is up to us to try to replace that match at the same or better quality. And there is no disrespect in saying this to Steve Scott or anyone else, but this is a big-time main event now. Frightmare, Joe Gacy, 30 minutes, Iron Man match, the Synergy champion and the standalone wrestling champion, and whoever takes the most falls in that 30 minutes, it's title for title, winner take all.
Wow, so Joe Gacy could literally walk out the Synergy champion, or Frightmare could walk out with the standalone championship.
Yeah,
Man,
and the winner has already agreed, whoever it may be. Gacy has agreed and Frightmare has agreed that if they win the other promotion's championship, they will take on the responsibilities of defending that championship on their schedule.
Wow, I mean that's awesome. I mean, I gotta tell you, I love the trifecta. You can literally see any matchup you want, and this is one of them right here. Joe Gacy and Frightmare for some unification titles.
Joe Gacy is a premier talent. Joe Gacy is out there like Thanos, man. He's just championship collected.
Yeah.
He is trying to get that Infinity Gauntlet together of all these titles. But I'm going to tell you right now, when this challenge got thrown down, I took it a little personally, and I took it personally on Frightmare's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Because Frightmare, I feel like pound for pound, we have one of the best champions in North America, if not the world.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has wrestled everyone. He's beaten everyone. You go back to the days of when Cesaro was Claudio Castagnoli, Frightmare was beating him. The guys who have been up and through and out and gone to WWE and have gone to Impact and have gone to Ring of Honor and have gone here and there, Frightmare's just beaten them and beaten them and beaten them. And now he's got gold around his waist. And I think it's long overdue. And I have nothing but respect for Joe Gacy and the game Joe Gacy brings. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't have signed off on this matchup if I wasn't 100% sure that my guy can beat their guy. I don't think Gacy can take Frightmare. I would not have signed this matchup off if I thought that Frightmare would lose. I don't think he loses. I'm just saying that. I don't care what Joe Gacy or Chad or any of Chad's boys have to say about it. Mm-hmm. I will be damned if Frightmare doesn't win this match.
Wow, I mean, putting all your chips on Black and on Frightmare, I mean, it's a safe bet. I mean, he is the champion. He has that title for a reason. And I can see why Chad is putting his marbles on Joe Gacy as well. I mean, it's definitely going to be one for the ages. You don't want to miss it this Saturday at Synergy 9. Absolutely crazy matchup for sure. I can't wait to see it. We got to talk about this, man. We alluded earlier to the attack on Matt Tremont.
Right.
And there are a couple of suspects. I mean, you cleared TJ Blade, obviously. You cleared Too Hot Steve Scott because of a retirement, and there would be no animosity for him to do something like that. But
right.
That left the door open for TJ Crawford, Anthony Green, Jason Sinclair, Matt McIntosh, and of course Mike Dell. I mean, these are some of the suspects here. Are we any closer to that? Are we any closer to solving the case, or is this coming down to the wire?
Well, here's the thing. We are not wrong about those five.
Sure.
We are not wrong. I watched too much footage, too much bad, grainy, black and white security camera footage. Mm-hmm. I got too many eyewitness accounts. I have spent, honest to God, way too much time on this, Andrew. There's other things I could have done. I spent part of my birthday reviewing footage. It's one of these five guys. I will stake my entire... If it's not one of these five guys, I will leave wrestling. It is one of these five guys. And that's my word. You can go back, and if it's not one of these five guys, you can say, Colin, quit the business. I will put my reputation on it being one of those five guys. Green, Dell, McIntosh, Sinclair, Crawford. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to be Anthony Green. I don't want it to be TJ Crawford. I don't want it to be any of them, honestly. Mm-hmm. I hate that this happened because it directly impacted the championship. It impacted Matt Tremont's health.
Sure.
Like, if you watched him at future shows the next week or two, Tremont was not okay. He was bumming around on one leg. I saw him at one of his student shows, and he's still hobbling. And I feel personally semi-responsible for this because this happened on my watch. Mm-hmm. So I'll put it this way. I'm narrowing this down. By hook or by crook, we will know who this is on Saturday at the latest. Tremont seems to already think. Tremont already is 100% sure he knows who it is. He has told me not to say anything because he doesn't want to tip his hand, because if he tips his hand and he's right, then that guy's just not going to show up on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know that Tremont knows it was you, and you know that Tremont is pissed, knowing what that man is capable of, you just no-show the show, right?
Yeah, why would... Maybe just life in general.
Yeah, maybe just no-show life. Maybe but move to a different country or something.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm going to tell you it's one of those five. It has to be. Those are the only five guys on roster who fit the physical description, who are right-handed. Nobody entered or exited the building through those doors that was a professional wrestler in that time frame. Like, you don't trust me when I tell you I thought of everything. If you don't think for 1 second that I immediately thought Brandon Kirk did this, you're out of your mind. But Brandon Kirk was in a different locker room in a different building. He was working for SWF that night. There's no way it was him. So it's one of these five guys. It was an inside job. I'm probably a day away from clearing one or two more people. I'm not sure, but by Wednesday or Thursday, I probably will be able to clear at least one more person.
Wow, I mean, what, like you said, who would want to attack Matt Tremont? I mean, I'm sure he would be happy to give anybody a championship match. I mean, obviously they just want to make this personal, but hopefully you found the right guy who did this, because what a heinous crime, and what a heinous.
This is what and I hate to cut you off. I don't think it was about the championship at all, Andrew, because if it was about trying to take the championship from Matt Tremont personally, why would they put Tremont in a position where he couldn't defend himself? They just didn't want Tremont to have the title. Whoever this was had a problem with Matt Tremont being the champion in the first place. And that's the thing. So that's where it's tough, because I need to figure out, we need to figure out who has that deep of a problem with Tremont that they would stoop to that level to get a championship off of him. Not by beating him, just by any means necessary. And that's the part that's kind of got me baffled, because I can't put myself in a situation, where a pro wrestler wouldn't want to beat a guy himself. That he would just hate the person so much that he would take them out regardless of who was going to win the championship as a result. Like, that to me is a whole another level of hatred that goes back a long time, and I'm not sure who was capable of it, but we're getting closer, and I swear you, I will know by Saturday.
Well, Colin, I mean, we really do appreciate, because this is some pretty heavy stuff that you had to deal with, but we do appreciate you looking into this on behalf of Matt Tremont and for the entire Synergy, universe. They, I'm sure they really do appreciate you looking out for the well-being of their stars and matchups. So yeah, we do appreciate you, really doing that. Going the extra mile to find out who did this.
Well, I mean, I got to take care of one of the best guys in the business.
Sure.
He's one of the best guys in the business, and I will guarantee you this: whoever did it will answer. That person will answer to Matt Tremont directly, and I don't care. Like, if they want to say, "Well, I'm not going to wrestle him in a match," that's fine. I'll make sure you meet him in the parking lot.
Wow.
I'll lock you out of your car. You don't do no. I'm serious. You don't do something like this if you don't man up and pay the consequences. You don't.
Sure.
So I don't care what I have to do. If I have to find out who it was, steal their keys, and make sure there's no way that they can get out of the parking lot without answering to the bulldozer, that's the point where I'm at. Let's just settle this like men for once. I'm tired. Andrew. Like, I'm tired. Let's not sneak up on anybody anymore. Let's not, like, sneak attack anybody. Let's not throw on a mask and be, like, come on now. Let's just knuckle up and fight, bro. This is what we're here to do, right?
Sure. Colin, obviously boiling heads are going to come this Saturday to Synergy, and matches are going to be bring out the best of everybody. Where can people once again get tickets and find you on social media and Synergy?
Absolutely. You can find us at Synergy Wrestling, SYNERGY Wrestling.com. There you will see our entire roster. You will be able to get a link to tickets to this show. You will be able to get a link to IndependentWrestling.tv, where you can see every past Synergy Pro Wrestling show streaming. And if you use the promo code Synergy, you get your first 20 days there for free. You can also find us on Twitter and on Facebook at Synergy Wrestle, and you can find me personally on Colin West on Facebook.
Awesome, Colin. And for me, this is Wrestling IQ 101. You can follow us on Wrestling IQ 101 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can subscribe right here on YouTube or on the B Plus Player Network. Colin, thank you again so much, and we're looking forward to Saturday at Synergy 9.
Hey, it's going to be a hell of a show. It is the last stop before our 10th show, and you owe it to yourself to be there, because not only are you going to get this card, but you are going to hear some information about our upcoming shows and some very, very notable names coming into Synergy at 10 and 11 and over the summer. I'm talking guys from Evolve, Impact, MLW.